Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly watch list where we go over ahead and look at the setups as well as the market sentiment bias and overall what we're looking at developing going into this week and what we're looking to take going into Monday morning along with the entire week as well. So starting off with the news as we always do. Going into Monday, we really don't have a whole lot. Honestly, there's not a whole lot to discuss here with regards to U.S. news. Going into Tuesday at 6 a.m., we have NFIB Small Business Index. Really early, not really relevant. 10 a.m., though, we got JOLTS job openings. 10 a.m., we have news, okay? Wednesday is going to be the biggest news days of the week. At 8:30 a.m., we have core CPI, CPIM, CPI YY. 9:45, we have, not 9:45, 10:30 a.m., we have crude oil inventories. 1:01 p.m., we have 10-year bond auction. 2 p.m. we have federal budget balance. Going into Thursday, we have core PPI at 8:30 a.m., PPI, MM, and then unemployment claims. 10:30 a.m. we have natural gas shortage, and then at 1:01 p.m. we have 30-year bond auction. Okay. Friday, we're not going to have almost any news other than at 10 a.m. we have USD prelim, UOM consumer sentiment, and expectations. So going into the earnings this week, we really don't have anything that's worth making note of other than Oracle and Adobe. And aside from that, honestly, we don't even really take these ever. There's never really any good setups here, even worth making note of. So that's all I'm going to be saying about earnings this week. Starting off with ES and QQQ as our markets, swapping over to QQQ from NQ. It's just what I usually use as my market relation to my underlying whatever equity I'm trading that day. I'm going to be looking at key levels this week, upside, downside. Really just going to be your local rejection pivot, support resistance levels, 58.21. This is for ES, 58.21.75, 57.91, 57.79, 57.68.25. Upside is going to be, that was upside. Downside is going to be 57.44, 57.20, and then 56.73. Personally here on QQQ, I have a few FEGs here as well as an IFEG. Looking at the FEGs at the 500 range and the 493 to 494 level, and then also from the 483.93 up to the 591 level. For my key levels here, upside, I'm looking at 513 and 4 cents, 503.74 cents. Really not a whole lot of significant levels here, right? Lower is going to be, downside is going to be 483.74, 483.93, and then 480.53. Then we have actually a small gap formation here at the 477.40 to the 474.70 finalization of that gap. That's the gap end there. So interesting to make note of for sure on that little gap to see what we ended up getting in interactions here. We do have some, like I said, FEGs here. I'm looking to see some rejections here for sure on QQQ in order to see some potential rejection plays here, set up some nice decent intraday plays. Going into the actual scalping basis setups for our underlines on equities this week, we're looking at Apple, Google, Meta, Tesla with a side watch of SMCI. Looking at Apple first off, alphabetically, we're going to be looking at here on Apple the 242 level approximately. It's going to be about 242. I'm interested more at 241 in this kind of development here. You can see here, this is just a really nice divergent rally to recovery relief rally. I think is a little bit stronger than the market and other underlines that are recovering as well. Target on this is likely going to be up to 242 on those highs. If we go over to the 4-hour, it really shows its strength here. You can see on the 4-hour candles. So like I said, I'm really targeting those highs there, a breakout above those, and even into potentially 243, given this is a slower moving stock. And that's overall just going to be the main, overall concept of how I want to end up executing on this trade and taking it. Is understanding, going to those highs there, the 243, and the potential area of rejection here, obviously with an FEG. That's definitely looking how I'm looking to take this. I do have an FEG here structured up, I believe, on the 30-minute or 15. So, yeah, there it is. You can see on the 15, and it shows some notable level of rejection here over on Friday. So that's going to be looking at how I'm taking Apple here personally. Going into the next setup here, Google, I really like this one a bit more. Apple's probably going to be my lower ranking on this on the main watch. But you can see here, if we go down to the 15-minute, this beautiful double top, almost really it's a triple top structure here at the 174.70 area. You can see we've really just structured up with a really nice level of resistance here, 174.60 to 174.80 is that kind of range of rejection. So I'm personally looking at the 175 level with targets at 175.25 and 175.86. I'm not looking to hold much past that because of the the amount of how often this is prone to rejection, this stock, and the way in which it moves, it only really prefers to do quick breakouts and no continuative moves. So I'm only looking for some local high and local low support and resistance levels as my target profits here, just as rejection points to take profit off of in case of reversal, of course. So that's going to be the trade. 175 and a 175.25 is target 1, and it's 175.86 is target 2. Entry being around 60 to 80 cent range, depending on the type of divergent strength we get, preferably strictly off of open, if not the second candle. Going into our next setup, we have Meta. This is a setup where it's a little bit far right now, but I do like the divergent strength we have. This major relief rally, the complete engulfment of the previous prior price action here. So we do have a FEG here. However, I want to see how this breaks this FEG. If we can crack this liquidity region, this order block, with some immense amount of momentum and strength, and show that divergence into the 635 level, crack through, say, like Friday's pre-market high with some real, genuine strength there, and divergent strength, then I will definitely be looking to, for sure, take position on this. So we have pre-market high there at 631.39. I'll have an alert set here to start watching this once we crack above that, and then just kind of see what the stock wants to do from that point. After we hit 635, then I'm probably just going to have a local target. Nothing too crazy, something like a local high or local low. So there you go, right there is one right there. 635.73 would be honestly perfect for the risk to reward in this given trade. So it's a pretty easy overall executable trade. Nothing much to be said on that. 635 and a 635.73. If I were to take downside on this, it's going to be far. I'm looking at the 600 level. I don't like anything as of now. Until then, it's just going to depend on how price action ends up going this week. Okay, so going into the Tesla chart here, looking at Tesla on this equity, I'm personally looking to take this at the 250 level with downside sentiment preferred. I don't have anything upside as of now. We might be forming a bottom here. I mean, I can just see based off market structure, as if you just look at this, you can see that we've had some pretty big sell-off moves here over the period of time, and you can see the incremental price variation being pretty significant. And one thing you can kind of notice is it was the most significant here, and then it slowed down a little bit. It's still pretty great here. And then as we come to this last few weeks, this last month of March here, this last week of March, it's really reduced the amount of incremental change in the price variation from 300 down to 260. So versus like almost 100 point or 60 to 70 point moves here. So the reduction of the share value has gone down significantly. So to me, that tells me sellers are exhausted or buyers are starting to gain strength. In the long term, there's a lot more preference to maintain the share value here or make it go back up. So personally, I'm going to be looking, like I said, at the 250 downside, but this may be a bottom, and we might be able to see, if I were to look at upside on this, as of right now, I really can't see anything maybe sooner than 280 on this. But if we were to have the right type of divergent strength and bottomed out structure, maybe a double top formation around the 270, 275 level, then I would look to take it sooner for sure. But it's just going to be depending on what type of structure we end up developing to get into that area. SMCI going to be the final, just a quick assessment. Beautiful little ascending pennant here, really. Ascending triangle. That I like this consolidation formation here. The accumulation is very nice, and we're really forming a pretty strict consolidative accumulative effect. So my overall effective level on this is really going to be the 40 level with target at 41 break, as an area of target, and then my next target would actually be the 43 level. It's a pretty big room, so I'd be taking this around the 39.66 Thursday's high area, and then riding this all the way through 41 to have a valid risk in check here. And then 42 to 43 range would be my final take profit range, personally. So nothing really much to say here. I don't even know if I would put this as a side wash. It is a pretty decent setup, to be honest. In all honesty, I like the type of strength it's carrying right now in comparison to a lot of the other shares and equities on the Nasdaq. But like I said, it's going to see. It is SMCI. It is not Tesla. It is not Meta. It's not Nvidia. It's, what I'm saying. So this is nothing crazy, but aside from that, guys, that's going to be the overall watch list this week. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. As always, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know any kind of ideas, suggestions you might have for the next one, and any questions. Again, hit me up for mentorship on Instagram or TikTok and the Discord as well. Cobalt Trades, it's $250 a month, and then one-on-ones are $80. So if you guys are ever interested in learning how to do what I do, I'm going to make some real cash at it. I don't charge much for what I offer. Really undercharged. So this can really change your life, what we do. So let me know if you guys are ever interested. And as always, let's have a great week. Let's kill it. Let's be very risk assessive, and let's make some serious profitability and continue to do what we love. Thanks, guys. Let's kill this week. Peace.